Wow, I am looking really white today. Oh my goodness. Your girl needs some self-tanner. Yes, I do. Hey, if you use self-tanner and you've got a recommendation, let me know. I live in Florida, okay? I need that high quality, really good self-tanner. So, if you know a good self-tanner, let me know. Hi, this is Andrea Schulman again, and in today's Law of Attraction video, we are going to discuss 5 unusual habits that create wealth and prosperity. Now, if you're excited to watch today's video, please give it a thumbs up right now, and let's go ahead and jump on into the video. So the first wealth attracting habit you can start implementing today is focusing on quality rather than price. Whenever we're shopping, whenever we're buying things, if the default strategy is to focus on the price, shift your focus to quality first, and it will dramatically help you out. Let me explain why. There's actually 2 ways to botch this one that are a little bit different, but I see people doing both of them. The first one is if we really focus on trying to get the best deal, trying to get it at the bottom price, searching for the absolute rock bottom amount you're going to have to pay, and making that your number one deciding factor when you make purchases. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting a deal. Honey, I like a deal, okay? But let the deals come to you. Do yourself a favor, don't go searching for the deals. Because if the primary thing that we're focused on when we make a purchase is, I need to save as much money as possible on this item, what we are subconsciously projecting and practicing and repeating purchase after purchase after purchase after purchase is, I don't have enough money to afford this at full price, or I don't want to spend the full amount. And any of those messages that we're putting out reinforce lack consciousness. The law of attraction is going to project back to you whatever you're putting out. So if price, getting the bottom deal, is always important to you, please realize that you are putting out a message that's actually closing the door to more money coming in. The other way that people can botch this one is that maybe they're not looking for the rock bottom deal, but maybe they're buying just the most expensive thing. So there's 2 ways to do this that kind of screw it up. If you're making a purchase and your primary focus is, I need the most expensive one, rather than the highest quality or the best thing that I could get for my needs, very frequently, the message that we're putting out in that instance has a lot more to do with what other people think about it. There is kind of a brand of thought, a brand of vibration that speaks very highly to this idea of, I need the most expensive car, I need the most expensive label, I need the most expensive thing. And it's not really because of what you even need or what would even work for you, or maybe even what your personal tastes are, but more about how is it being perceived by the outside world. That is a vibration we do not want to go into either. Because when we start looking outside of us for validation, we really start to screw up the energy of what we're creating. And I'll talk a little bit more on this on point 2. But for now, please realize that whenever you make a purchase, the best thing that you can do energetically, behaviorally, to attract more money is to make your primary objective quality. What do I need? What do I want? And make that your primary focus whenever you go out to make a purchase. Some of my bargain hunters out there might not like this one too much because I used to be one of you, okay? I was the crazy coupon lady once upon a time. I wanted the best deal. But you will find that in looking for quality over price, it actually will end up working out better for you even in the short term. Because if you buy something of quality, rather than based on price, you're going to end up with something that's going to last. Okay, you're going to match up with something that you're going to get a better bang for your buck with anyway. But energetically, through the law of attraction, focusing on quality over price really opens up the door to more abundance flowing to you. Because the message you'll start displaying with all of your purchases is, I can get what I want. I can get the best product for me. I'm getting the highest quality product for me. I can afford a high quality product, rather than I don't want to part with too much money, or everybody else better know how expensive this was. You're really zoning in on the most important thing, which is that you can afford something of high quality. You can afford something of high quality. And if you start projecting that message with every single purchase, whether it's the food that you're picking up at the grocery store or office supplies or whatever it is that you need, clothing, cars, but it's a high quality and it's of what you need specifically, that message will start to reinforce back to you, where you will find yourself able to buy higher and higher quality items that sincerely suit your needs. Hey, if you're enjoying today's video, please do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out videos like this every single week, and I'd really love it if you came along for the ride. I get thirsty talking sometimes. All right, so the second one kind of relates back to part of what I was talking about in the first one. And it has to do more with internal validation rather than external motivation. But the behavior, the habit that will help you attract more money, help you attract more wealth, is to be humble with your purchases rather than a braggart with your purchases. And yes, it's polite to be humble, and it's, more of society's norms not to brag, but there's a very good energetic reason why it's important for you specifically. Forget polite and how everybody else feels about it, but why it's helpful to you to stay humble with your purchases rather than brag about them. See, when we brag about our purchases, when we buy something fancy, we buy something nice, and we're constantly going around, hey, check this thing out, look how expensive this was, look how great this is. And that is our default strategy, is to show off our money, show off our purchases, show off our income, show off our manifestations. Unfortunately, when we do that, we are actually projecting insecurity. And insecurity is something to avoid at all costs with the law of attraction. A much better strategy is to stay humble. So if you buy something expensive, or if you get a raise, or you manifest a good chunk of money, you can talk about it, right? You can mention it if it comes up in conversation, but I wouldn't lead with it. I would act like this is normal, In being more humble with your money, the message that you project energetically is, this is no big deal. This level of abundance is normal for me. Let's say you buy a fancy car, you're driving around in your fancy car, and you don't feel the need to show it off to other people. You don't feel the need to race people in the streets or any of that. The message that you're projecting is, this level of a car is normal for me. Whereas if we're bragging, the message is, this is kind of a big deal. This is more than I'm used to, okay? And we don't want to project that message. We want to project the message that having nice things, or making lots of money, or having financial abundance, or good things coming to us is normal. It's regular. It can be expected. The more you project that message, the more the universe is going to respond by making it normal for you to have windfalls, making it normal for you to have good things financially. So being humble, even though it's polite, and yes, it's nice to be polite, but it really benefits you when it comes to attracting more money. While we're on the subject of wealth attraction, I do want to make sure to remind you that this is last call. Today is the very last day that you can enroll in my Extreme Abundance course. It will not be reopening until the next window, which I believe is in August of 2021. So if you'd like to learn more about that before the window shuts tonight, make sure to look below in the description for a link on my Extreme Abundance course. I like this desk, but it gets so smudgy. Okay, so now the third good habit that will help you create more money is to focus on growth rather than on loss. It is very normal for people who feel like they are struggling with money to spend a great deal of time worried about, looking at, stressing about, talking about their expenses, their bills, money going out, and all kinds of ideas that imply that there's not enough money. A much better habit to start implementing today is to focus on growth. Notice more the money that's coming in. Take more time to look at the things that are working out financially for you. Whatever you focus on through the law of attraction, you will attract more of. So if you're constantly looking at bills, constantly worried about bills, guess what you're going to attract more of? Unfortunately. So people who don't have a lot of money or who struggle with wealth attraction, they're often very interested in this concept of saving, try to save my pennies. Whereas a wealthy person isn't really focused on saving, they're more focused on investing. And this is a really great example of focusing on loss, focusing on too little, and focusing on growth on the opposite end. Let me set aside this money so we can grow into more money. And I can already hear some people out there, well, I don't have money to invest. No, that's fine. This can be done in many ways. Let's say you have an extra $10 this month. $10 that you have extra this month. You could do the less wealth conscious thing and just shove it into a savings account, right? Or you could invest that money in your growth. Perhaps you could take that $10 and buy a book that teaches you about how to start a retirement plan or how to allocate your 401k properly. That would be another example of investing, because that $10 is just going to sit over here for a rainy day doing nothing. But as a more wealth-minded person, you could create the habit of taking that $10 and allowing it to teach you what you need to know in order to grow more money. Wealthy people are famous for figuring out how to grow more money. That's really where the focus is. And so if you want to attract more money into your reality, make it your habit to focus on growth rather than loss. All right, so number 4 is one you've probably heard of before. I would hope you've heard this one before. It can be a tough one depending on where you are in the world, but it's to be mindful of the company you keep. Human beings are very social creatures and we adapt to one another very, very quickly. That's why we often call people the herd, or we call them sheep, or you will see that people in groups tend to behave the same. It is wired into us to pick up on each other's cues and to behave like the people around us. If you want to create more wealth and prosperity in your life, it really helps to get in the habit of hanging around people who are wealth conscious or who are at least more wealth conscious than you. A lot of people who are like these top CEOs and billionaires, etc. I've heard this time and time again whenever I read their books, etc., that they like to be the dumbest one in the room. Or they like to be the one who's kind of at the lowest on the totem pole, because when they're around people that are a higher level than them, it calls them up. It brings them up into that level. So this next habit is something I haven't heard any law of attraction people talk about. Maybe I'm the first. And it is to learn about money. Learn about it. It's very frequent in the law of attraction community that there's this idea that I'm just gonna sit down and think about the subject. I'm gonna think about money and it's just gonna rain down on me. But the truth of the matter is, in order to attract more money, you have to be very comfortable with money. You have to feel close to money. You have to feel like you can understand money. And this is where learning about money will come into play and really help you. First of all, learning about money is going to put more of your focus on money. And again, whatever you focus on expands. So it gives you an opportunity to dwell more on the topic, on the subject, but it also will help reduce and eliminate any fears that you have about it. I've got another gym analogy here because you guys know I love my gym analogies. Let's say that you want to manifest fitness, okay? And so you go get yourself a gym membership and you've never been to the gym before. You don't know anything about anything about anything. When you go into the gym, how much do you think you're actually going to get done? How long do you think you're probably going to last? The odds aren't that good, because if you know absolutely nothing and you haven't taken any time to learn or investigate how a gym works, how the equipment works, what kind of workouts might work for you, if you haven't dabbled in anything, you're probably going to get overwhelmed. But somebody who takes the time to learn, you know, they go in, maybe they ask some questions, maybe they talk to a trainer, maybe they investigate some of the machines, maybe they watch some YouTube videos, they prepare themselves for when they get there, they're going to have much more success because they're comfortable with the idea of walking through the door. That's really the vibration you want to get into when it comes to money attraction. So you could read books about money, or watch videos about investments, or learn about different terminology in the financial world and just become more acclimated to it. And if learning more about money and wealth attraction is something that rings your bells, again, please do remember that my Extreme Abundance course closes tonight. This is the absolute last call. This is an abundance course that does come with personal coaching from yours truly. It is a downloadable course, so as long as you sign up by tonight, you will get all of the downloads. You will be able to work on them at your own pace, so they are yours to keep. This is a course that is yours to keep forever. But if you'd like to learn more about that course now, again, please go ahead and look below in the description for a link. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.